Namaste. Namaste. My Zen zebras, my merry mermaids, my merry mermen. I know you're out there. Bella butterflies, unique unicorns, namaste ninjas, and yes, of course, unique unicorns. Did I say that? Sorry about my bangs. I cut them again. I know I screwed them up. Look at this. This one wants to have a curl. Okay, I was trying to put them back away from my head because I put a whole bunch of makeup on to make myself feel better, and I'm sitting in the car like a wacko. But I do feel better sitting in the car, getting some alone time and meditation time, and I figured I tried to do a live. I pushed the buttons, they wouldn't open, so I said I guess it's not meant for me to do a live. Anyhow, yeah, you probably saw the title, and the title, I wanted to change it a couple of different times. Let me just get rid of this ash. I am so blind, I opened up all the other windows except for the window that I can do because I have night blindness, and I was going to go to the store to Michael's to pick up the canvases that I need, but I didn't think I would make it in the dark, so because it was just getting ready to get dark, so I'll do that tomorrow. Anyhow, I want to have prayers up for my friend, our friend Kim. We call her Kim Magical. Her channel is A Comeback. She is in the hospital. She had a heart attack. And so I found out this morning, we didn't know what happened. She didn't know what happened. First, I thought she said her brother had a heart attack. But she was saying her brother took her to the hospital. Anyhow. So prayers up for Kim. I had a whole bunch of candles lit, said a lot of prayers. I have been sick too. That's why I didn't go to work today. And also, I don't think there was any jobs that I liked. So, it was for better. The headaches are back. And a little bit of a sore throat, but not much. But I might take the cold medicine that Devin was telling me about, or I'll just take my Excedrin. Anyhow, let me just get rid of it. I needed a Palo Santo stick. This is like the third time I'm lighting a stick. I lit 2 sticks inside the house. I had candles going for hours, and then I just put them out because one of them went out a little bit, and actually it was Kim's candle from a while ago, from like a month ago when she was in the hospital, because she has lupus as well, I believe. Is it lupus? Anyhow, prayers up for our sister Kim Magical from A Comeback. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please go over there, give us some love. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please give me some love, okay? If you're just not subbed and you just watch me sometimes, yeah, it would help if you push the old subscribe button. Thank you. Okay. So I have my notes out in the car. I want to do my Jesus cards because I had a whole setup for the second part of Scorpio, and every night I didn't feel well, and so I felt like I have to hold off my other videos before I do the last part of the Scorpio. And then Spirit told me no. It wasn't like anybody was asking me to do it. My other Scorpio video only got like, it just now reached 100 views. It took like days and days. So I think, I pushed myself in too many directions, and I'm just gonna go with me. I'm just gonna do me. Okay. What I need to do is I need to talk about what I have notes on in terms of the Summer Moon Utah Wells case, and also in terms of Bryan Koburger. You might say, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna read my notes because that focuses me. Actually, when I'm sick, my ADD is a little bit better. because I'm slowed down a little bit. But I was listening to a lot of healing music and sending it to Kim in the hospital and sending it to my soul sisters. So that really helped me. And I listened to, if you're ever really sick and you really want to get better, you want to feel better. I even went for a walk, a little mini walk with Devin. If you're ever sick and you want to feel better, pull up Archangel Raphael videos, little short 30-second, 60-second videos, and say the prayer that they have. Or meditation music for Archangel Raphael. Raphael is the healer. Okay, Michael is good, but Michael is for something different. Michael's for protection. Michael's for safety. Michael's for battling, evil. So they all have their, and I know that's another video I have my notes on that I started writing on. So let me put this out for now. Just heard something. Let me put this out and then I'll come back and I'll read my notes. Yeah, I'm parked in my car in my driveway, so nobody worry. Matter of fact, somebody was saying, yeah, and I actually do feel better. Let me just hold it for a second. I do feel better now that I put makeup on over my sick face, because I look terrible, and I sent my picture to Bayo, and also prayers up from my Bayo. You know her as Eileen. She's my good friend, and she has COVID, and yeah, it's going around. It's definitely going around. I don't know if that's what I have. I think I have a COVID test somewhere in the drawers. But I think mine is more of a virus, stomach virus, because, it usually at night it causes me, if I don't eat that much, I'll be okay, but everything kind of rushes me to the bathroom. Anyhow, enough about that. Prayers up for my Bayo. Eileen out there, hopefully you'll feel better. But she was asking me, what do you do, how do you do, like, to get the germs out of the house and negative energy around out of the house? She said Palo Santo or white sage. And I said either or. I like Palo Santo because you really don't have to open up the doors. Okay, but if you're trying to get negative energy and sick energy and germs that are in the house out, what you do is either white sage or the Palo Santo, and this is an actual Palo Santo stick. This is actually a Palo Santo stick. See, guys, right now I'm having a hot flash. I don't know if it's spirit or if I'm sick, or a little bit of both, but I'm putting the AC on. Yeah, in Texas, it was cool, and then it's hot, or I might even have to take off my jacket because the hot flashes come in, and anyhow, so I must be feeling better if my ADD gets stronger. So white sage or this Palo Santo. And your Palo Santo might be a stick or it might be incense. If you don't believe me, see? This one has a nice scent to it. I forget who gave it to me. Maybe Crystal Divine or Forever Bella. Okay, so, see, I use all the stuff that people give me. I go through the Palo Santo like unbelievable. But first you burn it. Have the windows closed. As you noticed, I had my windows closed, right? First you burn it, say a prayer. You can go to every corner, or you could just sit in one space. The feeling is you say a prayer. Like, please, dear God, help with the sickness in my house, or help with my friend's illness, or help help me to be abundant, and I'm having money problems. Help me to, sell my artwork. That's a prayer I say a lot. Or help me to, have grace or mercy on somebody else that's annoying me. Okay? Whatever it is. And after you light it and after you feel at peace, like you said enough prayers and you saw the smoke, the beautiful smoke that has angels inside it. Okay, not everybody could see it, but I could see it, and I know White Dove used to see it. She used to see it too. Anyhow, after you say your prayer, then you open up the window or door. And because it's cold on the East Coast, she's in Connecticut, so I told her, you don't have to leave it open long. It could be 5 minutes that it's open. I have a bad situation with my, I got my rose quartz on with my Michael. I love this cross. This is kind of a new cross. It was on a different chain and the chain broke, but look how pretty. Isn't that nice? Okay. But anyway, you open up the window, you open up the door. My windows are like sealed shut because it's always AC is going like all the time, and it's hard to open up the windows. So what I do is I open up the door, or I open up the other door for a couple of seconds because we don't have a screen. So just as long as you open up any door, it's okay. But it's good to get the old germs out by opening up the window and leaving it open for a little while. And then, but first do the smoke. So smoke and prayer first. The smoke and the prayer first. And it could only be 7 to 10 minutes, however long you feel. When you feel like there's a difference, or you can't take the smoke anymore or smell, and you said the prayer, then you open up the window and keep it for a few minutes too. And actually watch the smoke or visualize in your mind bad germs and bad energy and bad juju going out, and fresh air and protection and love and healing coming in. Okay, so that was just so you know, because I thought that I talked about that, but you probably guys forgot, or it's been a while, because I always have so many things that I want to do, and then I forget why I'm really here. Okay, so that was that. Also, prayers up for Lisa Sarn. Her dad started hospice, and I remembered to say that because I put on her necklace today. This necklace she gave me, look how beautiful. I'm not trying to show off my jewelry, but that's another thing. When you're not feeling good, you tend to not have your bracelets on and your rings and your necklaces. So put them on, and you'll feel better, even if you're going nowhere like me. I'm going nowhere. Where am I? I'm sitting in my car like a loser. Okay, but nobody will bother me in my car. And look at this. This is quartz crystal. So Lisa Sarn's dad was very, very ill for a long time, and she texted me and said he was going into hospice. Please pray for him. So prayers up for Lisa Sarn's dad. And Lisa, thank you for this beautiful necklace. When I wear it, I think of you. It's so gorgeous. It has 2 levels of quartz crystal on it. Okay, thank you. Prayers up for your dad. The reason why I put it inside, because I'm trying to get messages, so quartz crystal is very good for that, as well as amethyst. Rose quartz is for love and healing, friendship. Okay, and as you can see, I have my rose quartz bracelet on too. Okay, I put that on because I noticed I had everything taken off, because when you don't feel good, you strip everything off and you have no makeup on. Now I have eyebrows, and I was supposed to start here, but I started here, so it doesn't matter because I have bangs and I'm sitting in my car. Okay, anyhow, I'm going to put you back so I can get my notebook out. And I think that, and my other friend Tammy, I call her Bambi sometimes, soul sister, she, prayers up for her because her husband had hand surgery for, I think it was for carpal tunnel, but I'm not 100% sure of the whole thing. His hand to arm, and the surgery wasn't great. He has to have another surgery in 6 months. So his name is Jeremy and her name is Tammy. And I'm sure you see her on my page. She keeps up with all my stuff, and I put out a lot of stuff, and that's not an easy thing to do. Okay, so prayers up for my Bambi, Tammy, and her husband Jeremy. You guys are also on my candle. A lot of my prayers went out for you, also for Ruby and Gary. Yeah, I put us all up on the, not myself because, but yeah, Ruby and Gary, and Coral, of course, and Coral and Kendrick and Jade, Tammy and Jeremy, for healing and abundance, Kim Magical and Zoe, of course, healing and love, friendship and love. I told her for some reason, I kept telling her, flirt with the male nurses and the doctors. I don't know why. I feel like she's going to get a relationship from somebody. Okay, anyhow, I don't know. That came in, so if you think that's weird. Now, why is the air not going on? Oh, because it was on heat. Wait, 1 second, guys. I can't see for shit. Oh, where'd I go? I can't see. Yeah, my night, I have it on heat. That's why. It was on heat, and it's on windshield wipers, so let me put it on. Okay. Yeah, so is that it? My friend DC, prayers for her, up for her and her husband Carl. Love you guys very much. I had a dream about Owen, but I'm not able to talk about it yet. It was beautiful. It's a beautiful dream. But I'm still trying to get the message. So it was kind of like I was sleeping, then I woke up. I kept on falling asleep yesterday and last night and waking up, and it was like little cat naps. And so I'll tell you that privately. Okay, it's nothing bad. It's very good. But yeah, prayers up for everybody. We love everybody. Who is this? Making up with an old friend, Janet. Robin. Oh, okay. This one is old. I don't know why I kept this paper. Okay, they're saying, before I start, they want me to do a Jesus card. These have been on the table waiting for me to do that second part of the Scorpio, and all the cards are still out, okay? But they said, take these cards to your car. And I was like, oh, what am I doing in the car? Am I resting? Am I doing a reading? Am I doing a live? So they just said, take these, and I have one other thing. Anyhow, can I have some Jesus messages for the collective? Please and thank you. Before I start talking about the cases, and I'm open and receptive to receive any messages that I need to receive. Thank you. Can I have a Jesus message? They said you can have 4. 4. Why? Because we're going to 2024 soon? Just 4. You can have 4. What does my collective, what do my sassy subs need to know, Jesus? What do my sassy subs need to know? just said, when are you making the Jesus paintings? I know I got a message a while ago, I would say a month ago, about the Jesus paintings, and I haven't made them yet. Because today I wanted to have the energy to go to Michael's and get the canvas size that I need for the Jesus paintings. I mean, I have a bigger size, but I think he wants me to get the smaller size. It would be better, I think, on the smaller size, but I might do one on the bigger size. I know that sounds crazy, but just so he knows that I'm moving forward with it, because it'll heal me at the same time as I'm doing it. For a reason, it heals me. Whenever I do my healing artwork, I think of a color, and I was doing a lot of pink, and that meant healing the heart chakra, or something in the heart area that in my body that needed to be healed, or maybe bringing love to me, or bringing love out of me, mercy out of me, forgiveness, even for myself, but forgiveness for others. And so I was doing a lot of pink, a lot of green, a lot of pink and green, a lot of pink and gold, and I'm very attracted to those two colors. And sometimes I see them and crystals around them. So I don't know why I just said that. Okay, so please, Jesus, can you give us some more messages? I need 3 more messages from you. And I have 3 more messages. He goes, I can give you 100 messages. If you would listen, I will listen. I'm sorry, I'll try to listen harder. I'll try to listen better. Thank you. Please forgive me when I do wrong. I know I fall off the track. And I have 2 more messages from Jesus and the angels. He goes, these are for me. Me and my Father. Okay. Thank you. I love these cards. He's like, show me. Show me. I know, I should use them all the time. I think about them all the time. I have them. I had my cross. And Jesus, you're here to say whether I did or not, right? I had my cross on top of this. This cross was being absorbed into these cards. And Jesus was being absorbed into here for days and days, because I was trying to find the right necklace, a chain to put it on. Then I said, oh, I'll put it on my Michael chain, because I kept on losing these emblems. I think I had Archangel Raphael and Michael on one chain, and one of them kept on falling off. I have them all over the house. I have 2 Saint Teresa, Saint Catherine, but they keep on breaking, so I gotta get them back up. Okay, so what I was trying to do was put the energy of Jesus into my cross. It means a lot to me. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1 more message from Jesus. 1 more message from Jesus. I know you can give me 100 messages, but okay. Thank you. This is probably the only one that I keep the box. Maybe 1 or 2 I keep the box. Let's look at this picture. Okay. So, let's see what Jesus has to say, guys. I might not be able to read. This one says Mark, I think 33:22. Have faith in God. So important. Look at that picture. Have faith in God. You know, a lot of things are going wrong, and you're like, how am I going to make the bills? How am I going to have a good relationship? How am I going to complete all the things that I need to do? A lot of people are like, how am I going to do Christmas shopping or decorate when I don't have any energy, or I don't have any money, or I don't have any spirit? to do it in? Well, have faith in God. Ask God to give you the energy and the wherewithal. Anything that you need. Somebody out there needs a relationship, or wants a relationship, or a friendship at least. Ask God. Keep on asking God. You might say, well, I've asked God, but did you really continue to ask God and believe that He will that He has your back? Your faith hath served you. Go in peace. Your faith hath served you. Go in peace. Luke 7:50. Look, it looks like she's reading Jesus's palm. So to me, this is all about, like, when you have the faith in God and Jesus, even in the angels, when you have the faith, then you could be at peace. Right? And I'm open and receptive to receive any other message for when you've done the things that God wants you to do and that you know is the right road, and you know that God has your back. You know, that's what I feel like the theme is, that God has you. Because a lot of people don't feel that way. And they're like, the world is so bad, the world is so crazy, and so there's no hope. No, there's always hope. There's always hope. You're always supposed to push yourself to make the world a better place, even in your own small little world. We all have our little worlds, right? And the people that we reach, and the people, even if it's just our family and friends, or our co-workers, okay? And you can make that person smile. One person smile. Give a person a call that, you know, you haven't spoken to in a while, or a text. Just reaching out is one little small ripple of, like, the butterfly effect. One little, you know, somebody somewhere in the world does something kind, it ripples over to the other part of the world. Okay? So, your faith hath served you. Go in peace. Now you could be in peace. And they say that in church, like at the end of the Mass, they're saying, like, you completed, you came here, you prayed, you had hope and faith, and tried to show love. Now you can go in peace. Okay? Because a lot of people can't put the period at the end of the sentence because you don't give yourself enough credit. And God is saying, if you believe in me and you have had faith, that I will help you. And I will put somebody in front of you that will help you. Could be a stranger. Could be like, oh, I have this bill and I don't know what to do. I have this lawsuit. Somebody has a lawsuit that they're worried about. I have this lawsuit and I don't know what to do. And then all of a sudden you can, like, pick up the phone or go to the courthouse and talk to, like, somebody that just picks up the phones, and they help you to put you on the right road to where it's not hopeless, and somebody's going to help you. But have that faith that someone will, that God has your back. Okay? Oh, and this one's a nice one too. I will not leave you comfortless. I will come to you. Oh, I haven't gotten this one in a long time. I will not leave you comfortless. I will come to you. John 14:18. I know the glare is not good. How about that? That's better. So see how she's sitting there, and I guess she's hurt, and he comes. He comes. He's not going to leave her. God's not going to leave us. Jesus isn't going to leave us without hope, without, comfort. He will come and help us. He will be there beside us. You have to feel him. You have to absorb him. Thank you. I haven't seen that one in a long time. Okay, I am with you always, even until the end of the world. I am with you always, even unto the end of the world. Matthew 28:20. And I told you these cards are so good because I don't know the Bible. I will, you know how guys, I don't lie to you. I don't know the Bible. And like many people, oh, Katrina, you're always talking about God this, God that, the saints this, the angels that. No, but I don't know the Bible through and through. I never read the Bible back and forth. Yeah, I grew up Catholic, and I made my communion, I made my confirmation, and I had tests to take and go to CCD school and whatnot. But I don't know the Bible. I used to read the New Testament, and I used to read smaller things, and I like that. I have a little Jesus book. But this brings it to me. I didn't know that there were cards like this, where it's actually from the Bible, and, says Luke or Matthew. And I just love the pictures, because when I grew up, my mother had these pictures of Jesus, including the one that's in my bedroom, that little round circle of Jesus. And there were big paintings, and Jesus was sitting in a chair, and all the children were around him. That was one. And another painting was, and they were real big pictures, like bigger than 24 by 24. And another one was like Jesus was with the staff, that cane stick, and the sheep. He was herding the sheep. And I used to always ask my mother questions about these paintings, and I wanted to be an artist when I was like 5 years old, 6 years old, so bad. And I would stare at these paintings for hours, that one day I got a marker and I painted I wrote Kathy, because that's all I could write. I wrote Kathy, where the person wrote their name that painted them. I wrote Kathy on permanent marker. My mother couldn't get rid of it, and she goes, "Why did you do that?" And I did it to everyone that had Jesus on it. And I said, because I wanted to be the one who painted those pictures of Jesus. And I wanted to be the artist. And she's like, "But you can't do that. Somebody already painted that." And I said, "Yeah, but I wanted that to be my painting." So that's what these cards mean to me. It took me back to that. And when Devin was like looking on eBay for cards for me, I was looking through them. I don't even know if I saw anybody use them. But then I said, "Oh my gosh, can I get those? I need those cards." So anyhow, I am with you always, even unto the end of the world. Matthew 28:20. And you see Jesus sitting there, and he's looking over, and like you might think you're alone, and like the world is in a crazy bad place. And it is. It's in a crazy bad place, politically, financially, spiritually. Okay, but good always outlives the negative and the bad. Okay. And he just said it can't end on the 4. So I'm going to do another one. And let me turn off the air conditioning, because that's crazy. Can I have one more card? Please, Jesus. Thank you. Thank you, Jesus. You're so kind to me. Love you. Thank you for helping the world. Thank you for helping me. And thank you for helping my loved ones to heal, get better. Take, therefore, no thought for tomorrow. Okay, sorry. I should have brought my glasses. I don't have my glasses out here. Okay, take therefore no thought for the morrow. For the morrow shall take thought for the things of itself. Take therefore no thought for the morrow. I guess so. Don't worry about tomorrow, because tomorrow shall take thought for the things of itself. So, like, tomorrow will take care of itself. I think my mother used to say that too. Don't worry about tomorrow, because we're in today. We can't do anything about tomorrow. We can just talk about and think about today. Okay? Tomorrow shall take thought for the things of itself. Matthew 6:36. And again, these are my beautiful Jesus cards. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, dear God. Well, I hope you liked that reading. I'm not done. I still want to refer to my notes about the 2 cases, and I was debating whether I wanted to do any cards on it. It's very dark in here, so I think Spirit wants me to go on my head, not rely on the cards. They'll give me what I need to know, and I'll let you know what I already spoke about. I might no, not these. Okay, sorry. I even have it. I even have a thing about evidence. Oh yeah, here it is. Okay. Yeah. All right. So God is telling me just read my notes, because that always helps me to focus. I hope you're still here. I tried to bring out my iPad so I can have music on in the background, and also because then I did have my headache. Did take 2 Excedrins, but my headache seemed to have gone away. So thank you, dear God. Thank you, Spirit Guides. And Archangel Raphael, healer. All right, so what I want to say about, I was meditating a lot right after Thanksgiving, because it was the year anniversary of IDAHO 4, right? And there's a lot of stuff out in the press, and I can only give you what I get psychically and what I feel in my heart and my brain. Even though not a lot of people and not a lot of psychics agree that Bryan Koburger did it. I have a couple of people that do agree, that are psychic, that do agree with me, but most people think that he either didn't do it at all and he was framed, or that he did it with a few people, that he wasn't the only one. Okay, so I'm just going to give you what I get, because I've given it to you before, but a lot of people are new subs, and they don't have the ability, or they don't want to go back to my old videos and just put in Mystic Brady IDAHO 4, Mystic Brady channeling IDAHO 4, Mystic Brady Bryan Koburger. They don't want to do it. Okay, so for those of you out there, and those of you in the back row, that want to know what I feel about it, and I have changed my mind. I have a question mark about Jack D. Okay, and I have a video up in the very beginning about Jack D. But let me tell you, that was before BK was found. When I saw BK and I looked at his eyes, and I do a visual, I watched videos where he was pulled over in his car and he talked So when I get that information, it's almost like an activator of my third eye, and my psychic ability is really strong with visual and auditory cues. And I felt he did it. Okay. Now, allegedly for entertainment reasons. The question mark I have about Jack D, and that's why I left that video up, and I got a lot of hate, people yelling at me saying, you know, how dare you, and the parents don't think he did anything, and he was cleared by the cops. Yeah, a lot of people were cleared by the cops. They weren't cleared by me, okay? So, I'm not trying to condemn anybody, but this is what I think Jack D has to do with it. Jack D has something he's guilty about. I feel Jack D is guilty about not answering the calls, and he knew those calls were coming in, and he was not sleeping. That's all I'll say. Do I think that he carried on murders? No. And I have never really spoken about Dylan or Bethany, okay? And I'll just say this couple of sentences. I never did a read on them. I've done a visual read on them. I've done an auditory read on them. There's a lot of people slamming them or slamming Dylan. And let me tell you something. I don't think you should, because if she is a young girl and she's college age, do I think that they did the wrong thing? And I don't know why Dylan gets all of the blame. Why isn't Bethany in trouble for not calling for 8 hours too? She was right there. Dylan supposedly went into her bedroom. Why aren't they equally, like on the press? Oh, because Dylan went to a party? Hello? She deserves to live her life. Why does she have to act like she's a nun? Okay? I'm sorry. Not sorry. Please do not. And there's a lot of YouTubers out there that I really respect, and I watch them almost every day. They don't watch my channel, give me the same love. But, however, I watch them, and there's no reason to drag the two people who were survivors through the mud with some accusations that they set it up. I don't believe that. Do I believe that they called a crew of people to clean something up? Yeah. Okay. They were awake. They heard it. They spent all those hours thinking, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Who are we going to call? Should we call the cops? Should we call? That's what they did. I saw it. I felt it. Okay? I don't want to stay in that energy because I hate being in that house. I've had so many nightmares, just like a lot of other psychics out there and a lot of people out there. I've had so many nightmares. I was in that house. I was in the woods behind the house. I was in the driveway. I was in the car with Bryan. Oh, God. That was a scary one. Okay, so I believe, it is my opinion, these are all my opinions, allegedly. This is not like, this is my opinion, and I have done, a read on different things. So anyhow, please don't drag these girls through the mud. They've already been to hell and back. They're not even back from hell. Okay? And yeah, it's sus, what the millennials like to use. It's sus to not call the cops. And I'm sure that they're going to suffer through the trial. And they're going to suffer their whole life as long as they live with the question mark in their head and people judging them. So let's try not to judge them, and let's wait for the court to give them a chance to speak. I would love to hear what they want to say, but do I hear them? Should we call the cops? Yes, no, let's call the cops. No, don't call the cops. Let's call our boyfriends and friends and the sorority. And that is suspect. But I think the reason why Like another weird reason, why would Ethan's parents, your son just got murdered in this college, why allow them to go to the college? I don't get that, okay? So I looked into that psychically, okay? And the only thing I could say is they're very happy with, they know that the killer is not out there. They know the killer is behind bars. Why do I hear some noises? It's so dark. Let me see if I see anything. Creeps me out. Anyhow, yeah, I know I'm losing my train of thought. I was on a good roll. Yeah, so I believe that Ethan's parents truly believe in their heart of hearts that it was Bryan Koburger that killed their son and their son's girlfriend and the two roommates, that it's not anybody from the sorority and it's not anybody ex-boyfriend. Because otherwise, why would they even allow it? I think they're very good people that love their son and love their kids, and if anything would make it a dangerous place, I mean, I just couldn't do it because I would have pulled them out. Their head would be spinning so fast. You know, I would pull them out of that school, that college so fast, because I would want them to be in a different place, away from the memories of it all. But you know what? Everybody has free will and free choice, and I truly believe that the only way they would do that, leave those two kids, their precious, children, after losing a child, the worst thing in the world that could happen to you, is that they know that BK did it, and BK did it alone. Okay? That's my opinion, okay? Allegedly, for entertainment reasons only, okay? Nobody takes me seriously. Otherwise, I would have 8,000 to 10,000 viewers by now. I've been doing this since 2019. Please give me a break, okay? Anyhow, it doesn't matter. It all doesn't matter. What matters is to try to be good to people. Be good to yourself. Be kind to people. Try to be helpful, okay? And love one another. That's it. And then we go, we go over to the other life. That's all we can control. All right, so the sheath was under Maddie's body, right? The DNA is on the sheath. So a lot of people, the defense is going to try to get that thrown out, get rid of that. Okay, I haven't been talking that long. It's only 48 minutes. So I did a lot. I did the Jesus cards. I talked about the prayers up. Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm going to pat myself on the back. Now let me put the air on again because I'm feeling hot. Okay, so the prosecution has a loaded gun. All right, has a loaded fucking gun. All right, and that makes me happy because a lot of people and a lot of YouTubers are basically, opening up the jail cell and letting BK go free. All right, so it's not that I don't want to ever have somebody who's innocent in jail. I don't believe he's innocent. I believe he did it. And I'll tell you why. I don't like to get into this position because it's really hard on my body. It's hard on my mind. Psychics and empaths have been getting attacked by nightmares, attacked by negative energy, attacked by shadow people. I don't even like to say it, okay? It's time for Palo Santo. A stick. If I have any sticks left. Yes, I do. Thank you, God. But what I try to do when I do a psychic read, and I've done a lot on Bryan, and I've tried to go into his childhood, very much like Chris Watts. It's like there were weird things with Chris Watts, who killed his wife and kids, his pregnant wife. Oh no, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. You gotta light. Because they just told me I have to have a stick lit because I'm starting to get upset. Please, God. Didn't it just light for me? Didn't it just light for me, guys? Oh, it's this one. Okay, thank you, dear God. Thank you. There we go. Turn off your air. All right, so guys, what I do is I put myself next to him. I try not to go in his head because I don't want to be in a murderer's head. It's hard to get out of that. So I put myself next to him. That's why I was in the car next to him. See him as a little kid. And he's young enough to be my son. My son was born the year before him. So I think of him, as a teacher would think of him as a mother, and there's a thing that's off with him. Just like there was a thing off with Chris Watts, all right? Just because somebody's quiet, my mother used to always say, it's always the quiet ones that you gotta watch. Because I used to have a boyfriend that was quiet, and I would say, oh, he's shy, he's quiet, he's bashful. And she would say, yeah, those are the ones that you have to watch out for. And I was like, oh, you want them to have a big mouth and screaming and yelling? And she would be like, well, at least you would know, what they're about. Okay, anyhow. So when I go with BK, when I try to get in his energy, I see him, the bullying, he was bullied, and then he started bullying after he lost all that weight, and he had the drug problem, and then he didn't have the drug problem. And there's certain types of personality, I don't know if it's personality disorder or disassociation, something like that, that they can't get addicted to drugs. I don't know, somebody tell me if you know that condition, because I am not a psychiatrist or a practicing therapist. Okay. So when I go in, there's some kind of situation where in his mind, like, nothing is good enough. So his letter that he wrote, and a lot of people tried to say, well, he wrote that when he was 16. Who doesn't write, like, sad things, when you don't have any friends or you're not in love, and when they're depressed. Oh, is there a car behind me? Better not be, because I'm in a parking lot. I'm in my house. So anyhow, he had depression. I've had depression before. He did think about killing himself. I saw that in his head, right? And then there was another side to him. It was like another personality where he was like, it's more fun to make somebody suffer. Okay? I don't have that feeling. I don't try to one-up people. I don't like to, like sometimes I like to speak my mind and make my point, get my point across. But I don't like to do it to make somebody feel bad. Because then I end up being awake all night, because then I'm feeling bad that I made somebody feel bad. He didn't have that. He didn't feel bad about it. Okay? Every once in a while, in his head, he thought, I probably should feel bad for my parents. Okay? But I see him as a kid. And you know who was really worried about him? Because she was tapped into him. His mother. His mother saw the reaction of the two sisters. He was getting a lot of attention because he was the youngest and he was the boy. And he had two older sisters. So everybody thought, oh, he's getting attention because he's the boy. In some Italian families, the boys are like princes, right? Not in Irish families, but in Italian. But then she saw him, there was something off, and she just always wanted him, oh, please let him have a good life, and I hear her praying, as any mother would do, right? You want the best for your son, you want the best for your daughter, right? You want the best for your sons and your daughters, right? And your nieces and your nephews. And actual prayers, I'm hearing that. And like, for a little while, like, really speaking to his, like, I hear him being praised for how smart he is. And like, a lot of people with dissociative disorder, or many people, let's make a generalization because I don't have the numbers, I don't have the stats, but many people that have these personality disorders, think about Amber Heard, right? The Johnny Depp case, Amber Heard. She had some sort of personality thing. It was on the books, She found out about it. You can't get out of it, right? And where she would fight with Johnny, with anybody, until she got her way. And she would smile, smirk, like hours and hours. She would cry, but there was some kind of thing where she felt she won if she caused pain emotionally and sometimes physically. So what I'm trying to say is, I feel that in him. Okay? That was a roundabout way of saying I feel that in him. Now let me just put this out, because it's out pretty much, but oh no, it's not out. It's not out. It looks like I'm smoking pot in this car. All right. I'm gonna have to take this one outside. 1 second, guys. Where are you gonna go? Anyway. Yeah. Oh, a little chilly out there. Okay, so. Oh, 1 second. So with BK, that's what I see. I see him extremely intelligent, book intelligent. There's social intelligence, there's emotional intelligence, and those people who are born with this disease, I would say it's a disease. Definitely a disease if it causes you to hurt people or hurt yourself or hurt others. I don't know if he ever had therapy, but I think he did. I think he might have. I think his mother, maybe not his father, I don't know if his father believed in it, but his mother, I think, looked into it because she saw that he was different from her other two kids. She saw that he was different from other kids in general. And I believe she was a teacher, because I keep on hearing teacher, like a teacher voice, or she's like you, Katrina, and I'm a teacher. I'm a mom and a teacher, but I was a teacher first. So, pretty sure she worked in that school, but I think she's a para, so with educational assistant. Okay, anyhow. So she probably studied, at least psychology, 200, 300. Because when you're an assistant, even an assistant educational para, you have to go up to at least level 300 in psychology. And then I think both daughters became therapists. And I believe they both lost their job, which is terrible. And that's why I was trying to say, please do not, haunt or put out that negative energy to Bethany and Dylan. They are young people that happen to be in the house. I don't believe they're attached to it. I mean, there's so many rumors swirling around. Yeah, it was wrong that they didn't call, and they were awake. They called their friends. They will be held accountable for that. They will go through the ringer. They have gone through the ringer. Okay, so let's get back to BK. I feel the sheath, the knife, was definitely his knife. He had this sheath. He had a black outfit. And I believe this from the beginning. I just didn't know if it was somebody else in that black outfit or BK. And I do believe it was Bryan. The black outfit is like the kind of material that you would wear to the gym, like gym pants. Like, it's like you can get it wet, almost like a wetsuit, but not a wetsuit. I forget why they use it. Maybe for hunting? But it's black, and it's like that material that if it gets wet, it really doesn't absorb it. It just like everything goes off of it. But it bloody, okay? He had the gloves. He had several gloves. Best believe he had several gloves on, okay? He had latex gloves on under regular gloves. And how did he see? Well, the good vibe thing was on. And also, have you ever seen those lights that you wear over your head? It's like a light here, and it's like a headband. One of those lights. Okay, he could have had a pen light, any kind of hunting light. But the house was pretty lit up. So, like, a lot of people alright, so I can only say what I see. I do believe he went upstairs first. That Maddie was his target. That he got obsessed with Maddie when he went to Maddie and Kaylee. He was following them. That doesn't make you a murderer. I understand that. He was trying to talk to them on social media, on Instagram, right? They didn't talk back to him. But he saw Xana and Maddie in the Greek restaurant. I believe allegedly. I don't have dates, okay? And that was the place that had the most amount of vegan food available. So he went there. He definitely went there. And I could see him in my third eye talking to both Xana and Maddie. And at first, Maddie was very, very nice to him. Xana was explaining things to him about the food. I see that. Maybe the vegan pizza or something. And then he gets the wrong idea. He gets weird. Like, he gets like, what's your address? Like, and he did that in another bar in Pennsylvania where he lived, where he would go to this bar and hang out, and instead of, how like some people's line would be, hey, what's your number? What's your phone number? No, he would say, where do you live? What's your address? Can you give me your address? And people were like freaked out by it. And they told the manager, and so the next time he came in, the manager pulled him over and said, listen, want to make sure that you don't talk to anybody like you did before. You're freaking people out. Can't ask people their personal information. And he said, I don't know what you're talking about. You have the wrong person. And he left. And he never came back. Okay? So he has a pattern of doing this. Anyway, anybody who says that you can go out in your car and drive around at night, there's nothing wrong with that. That's fine, right? Back when I could see, I wouldn't drive around, but in Staten Island, when I first got divorced, I would always go to the movies at night. And actually, even before I got divorced, I would go to the movies at night because I was home alone because my ex was out in the bar somewhere without me. So I would just go to the movies. And it was always nighttime, and I would be by myself. But it was a small little town anyhow. But I best believe I wasn't driving by somebody's house that I didn't know. I wasn't driving by somebody's house 12 times in one night or whatever it was. Within, a certain amount of hours, he went to that location 12 times. That's a bunch of BS to make that normal. That is not a normal thing. That is a stalker thing. If I found out anybody was driving around my house or my apartment, right, that would freak me out, and I would go try to put, something on them at the police station. That's a stalker move, okay? Anyhow, I believe that he was dressed in black. He had the light thing on his head. He had some kind of light. Maybe it was a light around his neck. It was some kind of light, okay? He didn't know Kaylee was going to be there, right? Or he thought Kaylee was in her room. But Kaylee was in either coming from the bedroom, she put the dog in her room and closed the door because she didn't have a bed anymore, or she didn't have, nothing was in her room because she had moved out. So she was coming to go lay down in the bed with Maddie, and I think she had seen this man over her best friend, and she fought him, and that's why her wounds are a lot worse. I think Maddie was half asleep, and I think Maddie was the only one half asleep, and I think that with the commotion of that, Dylan heard it. I don't know about Bethany. There's no words that she has. And I think that Ethan left the bedroom for one of two reasons. Either the DoorDash was coming, or I think the DoorDash just came. But Xana heard the commotion upstairs that sounded terrible. And at first they just thought, oh, they're playing with the dog, or the dog is, they're laughing or playing with the dog, but then they heard the screams, because there were screams. Best believe there were screams. And you're not going to tell me that everybody was. Maddie was half asleep. Maddie was the most intoxicated. Maddie was the most intoxicated, according to me. According to my psychic ability. Okay, so she was in a sleepy zone. Kaylee was awake, walking from her bedroom, settling down her dog to see what was going on, and also to come with her. And that's how the sheath in that argument, the sheath got loose from his waist. Okay, well, maybe he had the sheath in his hand, and he took out the knife and went like that, and then in the midst of the fighting, dropped it, because now he hears Ethan. So he goes downstairs. His alternative, his only thing he could do is worry about, oh, somebody else hears me and I got to get out of here. So he goes down the stairs, he sees Ethan, and he stabbed him, I think in his neck or back of his neck, something in his back, because I felt that. I always felt like it was a shank, like you shanked me, you didn't give me a chance, because Ethan's a big guy too. And then I believe Ethan was moved, because they say that Ethan was at first Dylan said she saw Ethan laying on the floor and she thought he was trying to punk her, trick her, because he had all Halloween blood on around his neck. And he was laying in front of the door, the bedroom door, in the hallway, right? So now that story has changed and Ethan was found inside the bedroom. And now they're saying that Xana was found outside the room. I'm sorry, I'm getting a lot of noises. It's scary. Oh my God. See, I hate to talk about this at night, and I'm probably not going to get to summer. I'll get to summer another time, because now I'm freaked out. I'm scared. Okay, so let me just read my notes. I believe he buried that whole outfit. He took it off. He had other underneath that outfit, that suit, whatever it was, the hunting suit. It was all black. It was all like a spandex material. He took that off, including some type of shoes. Put it in a bag, a garbage bag, and the knife was buried. He did go back to try to get the sheath, but then he got scared to go back in. There was nothing going on. There was nothing outside. But he didn't go back in because he got scared. But I feel like I try to tap into it. I would have to do the cards on it and really meditate. But I did see like a metal guardrail, and I did see walk away from the metal guardrail, pull over to the side of the road, walk away from the metal guardrail, and then there's a couple of trees, not many, and he goes in by the trees, he digs not that deep, and puts the bag that have the clothes and the knife, everything inside there. I didn't feel like it went in water. I felt like it went buried. And then there was a lot of snow and stuff, so it's encased in something. I think somebody will find it, hopefully. Wherever his phone pinged that he went to, that's where they should have the search dogs to try to find it. Anyhow, prosecution has a loaded gun. That came to me. All right, so I have Dylan and Bethany. They know something, but please don't show them hate. They have to live their lives. The crime scene, keep the house. Yes, they should keep the house. When they were trying to get rid of the house and bulldoze the house, that's because the defense is afraid of more evidence that will come up. And the crime scene needs to be in the house, not a house that they build up. They're supposedly going to make a reenactment scene. No, keep the house, just like in the O.J. Simpson case. Keep the house. Keep the original crime scene. Keep the house. The jury needs to view it. Personal stuff, the trash, the sheath, the mouth swab, that all IgG ancestry proves it is Michael Koburger, Bryan Koburger. Trial date, I don't know when it is. The DNA, is there DNA from someone else? They keep on saying there's DNA from someone else, but who? And why haven't they been arrested if they have it? Xana's mother said that their wounds to see if it's the same weapon. Xana's mother felt strongly that it was somebody else too, that it was two killers, because she thought that she heard the wounds were different. I still feel like it's him. Remember, when somebody feels a certain way about one person, then somebody else comes in. So he feels one way about Maddie, right? He feels rejected from Maddie in his sick mind. He feels rejection, right? And so he killed her. Then her best friend comes in. He didn't expect her and to be there. And she comes in and she's all like acting like, you're killing my best friend. And so then he kills her even harder. I know, it's horrible, it's terrible. He didn't expect Ethan to be there, but he must have seen a lot of cars and still didn't care. Okay. But I don't think he killed Ethan and Xana first. I think he killed Maddie, Kaylee, then Ethan, then Xana was last. According to myself. Similar to OJ. The fraternity and grub truck should be looked into, but only because there could be some more answers. And the fraternity, because the fraternity members were called. And why were they called? The fraternity sisters and the brothers were called. And what did they do? Who went over there? What did they see? Okay, but I don't think they did it. But did they touch the evidence? What did they clean up? Did they just clean up drugs? What happened? Okay. Evidence, proof, alcohol, and the car. I don't know what I meant by that. Does he have two personalities? I think definitely yes. Proof, alcohol, and the car. I don't know what I meant by that. I'm not sure what that means. Grand jury. The grand jury said that he was at 1122 King Road, that his car was there at 1122 King Road during the murders. The BCK, Bryan Christopher Koburger, his phone and car was there. He had a kill kit, an ID card from somebody else, 4 victims. But they have to prove within a shadow of a doubt. It's a time for karma. It's time for karma. See, when I write my notes, and this was after Thanksgiving, I was sitting there, I was watching some stuff, I was looking at Koburger videos and listening to his voice and putting my hand on the screen to get information. And I write a lot of notes. That's why I should do the videos very close to the notes, because I don't remember everything that I was channeling at that time. BK, phone, and car was there, shadow of a doubt. Yeah, they have to prove within a shadow of a doubt that he did it, or whoever did it. But yeah, I believe he did it. In my opinion, time for karma. I don't know if I was trying to figure out in his mind what he thought it was time for these kids to get, these girls who rejected him. In his mind, he was always rejected by the pretty girls, the popular girls, the girls. Why should they have fun? Why should they have a great life? I went to school, I studied hard, I got my degree, but I'm still not popular. I'm still like a loser. It's like high school all over again, even though now I'm a professor. I'm an assistant professor, and I screwed that up because he was fired. He knew he was getting basically his life was going to be over. You know why? Because he would have got out of that, and maybe he could try to be a teacher, but he has a personality socialization issue. So it wasn't like he can just go, I could be, after being a assistant professor and I screwed that up, I have all this education, let me try to work for the cops. Well, the cops didn't take him either. So he was being rejected left and right. So that shows motive anyhow, according to me. All right, relationships, unidentified DNA. Trash area, buried outfit in a bag. Yes, I got that from day one. That stuff is in a bag. could even be a black garbage bag, and he had a backpack. I felt like a backpack was on him or in his car with some more car clothes, like with another coat, because it was cold out, with a coat and different clothes. Like, I don't believe he took those clothes and brought them home, but the clothes, underclothes he was wearing, he did wear. He did keep those. He didn't burn those. He cleaned. And his roommate said that he was cleaning at like a really late time. I'm not saying that's wrong, because I used to do that too. He was missing a shower curtain. All right, buried outfit in a bag. Scorpio, Taurus. Well, he's a Scorpio, but then I have Taurus, money back and neck, money back and neck, money and neck. DNA, Virgo, Mercury, cleans up. Oh, I think I was doing the cards, so I wrote down what I said. So I got Scorpio, Taurus, issues with the neck. I got Virgo, Mercury, cleans up and organizes. Yeah, he definitely spent some time cleaning up, but he spent more hours driving around. Like, he literally did not sleep. He did not sleep, because he went back to the house around 9 a.m., whatever time they clocked him in over there, because he was thinking about getting out of the car and going in to get his sheath. Okay? All right. That's all the notes I have on that. Let's just say a prayer to God. Please, dear God, please help us to get the right people or person, convict them. And same thing with Richard Allen case, Abby and Libby, and Summer Moon, Utah Wells. We definitely need to find her or find some evidence. People who are guilty need to step up. Maybe I'll just read. I have one, let me just, it's really not much. 1 second. All right, for Summer, the search dogs need to be brought to Ben Hill, the property. I believe she was moved 3 times. Each time, it desecrated her remains. Okay, so I don't believe she was ever buried over by Warrior Hill. And you know, if you go back to my readings from the past, I probably did over 30 or 35 or 40 videos for Summer Moon, Utah Wells. And I always said that I feel like it was accidental dry drowning, where she was alive. If they would have taken her to the hospital, she would have been alive. Okay? But she didn't take her to the hospital. And I believe she was in the car sleeping, but she was really dying. The search dogs need to go on Ben Hill, all over the 11 acres. I feel like her clothes and skull will be found, some of her hair, leg bone, possible arm. I know that's gross, but this very similar to Evelyn, baby Evelyn. Okay? Baby Evelyn, also Tennessee, I believe, right? She stuffed her in some sort of shed or playroom. And the thing is, Summer was moved, so she wasn't on the property at first. When they first searched the property, they didn't really search it fully. The kids were there. The kids were still there, and so they needed to search it again. And I don't believe she's in the house. I believe a lot of people say a shed, and I felt hot on the shed, but I feel like she was moved from there too, because they were starting to Yeah, and who do I think they need to talk to again? They need to talk to Hunter again, right? He knows something. And he's not gonna have a great life, and I wish him the best. He didn't do it, but he just knows something. But he's a kid. He was a kid, also being abused by somebody who was supposed to be an adult. Hair, leg, bone, possibly arm, skull, and clothes. And a red toy, plastic. It might be near her. Leaves and dirt. Also, the log is very like a hollowed out log. Still get that. Think about Evelyn. Think about Evelyn's mother. Evelyn's mother, she never admitted anything, right? Even after she was arrested, even after they found the baby. I mean, it took a huge, long amount of time before they can get anything out of her. Okay. Also, Susan Smith. All right, guys, that's all I could do. How long is this? 126. That's a long video. All right, guys. I feel depressed now. Okay. What I'm going to do, just to put us in a better mood, I'm going to pick a card. I always wanted to do this. I'm going to pick a card of my signs, right? And give you a message for the sign, all right? Yeah, I did a lot, though. I did a lot. I did the Jesus cards. I did the prayers up. I did the Koburger. And I never want to be in that energy, but it had to be done. And I actually did. I want to do a location card reading for Summer. And Michael. Let's not forget about Michael Vaughn. I didn't forget about Michael Vaughn. His parents are still looking for him. They got so close, and then they just, it's like they stopped. I don't know why. Okay, anyhow. Who does God want me to talk to right now? Which sign, which astrological sign needs a message right now? Cancer. Cancer, moon children. Okay, moon children. You're very worried about housing. You're very worried about like your location, your apartment, your home. Maybe something to do with mortgage or the rent. Okay. Meditate on it. Reach out to people, because somebody might have an idea for you. And you're also worried about relationships. You need to talk. You need to talk to whoever you're living with, whoever you're friends with. You need to tell them what's on your mind. Don't hold it in. Cancers hold in too much, and then they're like, why am I so sad? Why am I so mad? Why am I so depressed? Because you're not getting your needs met. You're not getting your feelings out. Somebody's not respecting your feelings. Somebody's disrespecting Cancer, Moonchild. Okay. Who else needs to be talked to? Who else needs a message? Just a quick message, because I want to get that energy off of me. Wow, Gemini. I don't talk about Gemini that much. What's a message for Gemini? I feel like a new opportunity is coming in for the Geminis. Jerus. Okay. Yeah. Opportunity. I feel like somebody is really appreciating the different sides to you because you're the sign of the twin. But the different moods that you have, they're starting to appreciate you. It's like this, they're getting you, which I feel good about. I feel like you feel good in love, and that's why it might be time to focus more on the new job or the new career or the business that you wanted to get focus in on, because the relationship I feel more at peace with, and that's for you, Gemini. Maybe some people, might not resonate with everybody. And can I have another card, please? Thank you. Please and thank you. Aww, Virgo. Virgo, I'm a Virgo. Virgo, what's the message for Virgo? For the universe? Angels? I just heard, what about taking care of your own needs? Yeah? We put ourselves last on the list. Okay. Take time to reevaluate, Virgo. There's a big project or big situation coming up, and handle it carefully. That's why I keep on handle it carefully. All right, anything else? Virgo wants to know. A Virgo friend of mine wants to know. Somebody wants to apologize or should apologize to you, but they might not. You might not be hearing that apology, Virgo. So just you be the bigger person and just keep it moving. Okay, I receive it. Receive those messages, Virgo. One more, and then I think I'm done. Leo. Leo. What do we need to know for Leo? Some Leos are about to go into their winter depressions, but like they didn't say it in a bad way. They just said, you know, we always get like this. Like with the weather affects the Leos very strongly, and Leos need to look at the bright side of things more. Look at what you have and appreciate what you have. Look who's around you instead of worrying about, like, am I gonna get this new job? Am I gonna have this new relationship? Or get married again? Somebody is gonna get married again, but you're not ready, Leo. You know that you're not ready. Put the brakes on wondering about fixing everything and just enjoy what you have right now, because where you are and what you have, this goes for everybody, but especially Leo, is exactly what God wants you to have. All right, so if you're in a condo and you're single right now, that's what God wants for you. If you're in the country in a big house full of sheep and animals and cats, for some reason they just showed me cats, that's what God wants you to appreciate right now. But don't accept disrespect. Okay? Leos, we love you. And be more creative. I just heard, be more creative. Use your creative side. And Leos are saying, I'm not creative though. Katrina, I'm not creative. Yes, you are. Everybody's creative. Everybody has a creative side. It's just, you have to see what it is. Okay, guys, I have to go because Devon's calling me out in the car. All right, I'm in my office, but I didn't think anybody would call me. Anyhow, I love you guys. I think I did enough. Prayers up for Kim Magical. I hope you get out of the hospital as soon as you get better. And prayers up for everybody out there. Prayers up for Israel, for Palestine, for the whole world. No more fighting. Please, God, give us peace and love. Namaste.